let me give you a perfect example. We go down here, and this is a two-language um, slide here. We've got English, then we've got Spanish, then English, then Spanish. This is a previous tutorial that I did. But if I right-click and select Quick Edit, presented by Church Tech U, it's the ProPresenter show. On today's show, which text box does Quick Edit affect? And how can you change that? Hi, and welcome again to the ProPresenter show. This is the show where I teach you all about ProPresenter. My name's Paul Allen Clifford. And before we get started, if you've had multiple text boxes and you needed to edit the other one than is showing up in Quick Edit, just real fast, tell me about it in the comments below. So this is something that is it's a little interesting about ProPresenter. So it was made to deal with a single text box, but over the years they've had the ability to do things with multiple text boxes, and as a result, it's caused some interesting things to happen. Now, in a couple of previous tutorials, one on having 2 languages and one on having 3 languages, I talked about the Reflow Editor and how ProPresenter decides which text box the Reflow Editor targets. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was in the Church Tech U community. We have a weekly live Q&A class. If you're interested, go to churchtechu.com. That's U like just the letter U. ChurchTechu.com, and you can find out more about it. So we were there, and I just got curious. I'm just wondering, okay, which text box will Quick Edit target? Will it target both of them and you can click in it? Turns out no. Or if it only targets one, how can you affect that? So let's take a look. So let me give you a perfect example. We go down here, and this is a two-language slide here. We've got English, then we've got Spanish, then English, then Spanish. This is a previous tutorial that I did. But if I right-click and select Quick Edit, notice it's dealing with the Spanish. But if I click on that, it's also got English. So how is it deciding which is which? Well, the answer to the question is within the editor. So if we right-click and we go to Edit Slide, and then we look here in the lower left-hand corner, notice that it has the objects, and they are in order top to bottom. So when I say that text box number 2 is on top, it is literally on top. So if I drag it over to where the text is overlaid on top, it is literally on top. It's what we call Z order. If you think of a 3D printer where it not only goes left and right, front and back, but it also builds up. Left and right is X, front and back is Y. I think I've got those correct. And then up and down is Z, which is correct. I just always get confused whether X and Y is forward and back, and anyway. So this is on top, so that's the one that the Quick Edit is going to target. But if I go down here and I drag it to where now we see the Amazing Grace on top, now that's going to be the one that it targets. And if we go back to show mode, right click, select Quick Edit, then sure enough, that's what's going on there. So if there's just one slide that I need to do, I can absolutely just go into Edit. But if I do that, I might as well just fix it in the editor. right? So no need to go back and forth. So how can I make this a quicker and easier thing to do? Well, what I could do is I can right click and go down to themes. And then if I go all the way to the bottom, there is a new theme from selection. And I could call that, do you like these videos, but you'd really like to learn from me in person? Well, I've got some great news for you. I am traveling around the country and maybe even around the world training churches on how to use ProPresenter. So I've got a either a 1 or a 1.5 day class that you can attend. For more details, head on over to TDM.fyi/events24, the top one right here, and register for the event nearest you. If there is no event that's near you, no problem. You can request one. So head on over to tdm.fyi/class request. That's this one down here. And you can say, hey, I'm interested in attending a class, or even I'm interested in hosting a class. Up to you which you prefer. In the last one, that is just information. It's not obligation, so don't hesitate to put your information in there, and I'll let you know when there's a class in your area, or we'll talk about what it takes to host a class. It's probably a lot less than you imagine that it is. So head over there, and I look forward to meeting you in person. English first. Save it. And then edit this slide. Swap these two. Go back here. Right click. Themes. New theme from selection. Spanish first. Now clearly I would want to make it to where it was legible. I'm just leaving it the way that it is just to prove my point. That, see, right click, quick edit, Spanish. Now if I right click, go down to themes and select English first. Oops, right click, go down to themes, select English first, and actually click on the theme slide. You'll notice that English is now first, and right click, quick edit, now it targets the English. So, just one more time, right click, go down to themes, Spanish first, actually click on it this time. It brings the Spanish forward, right click, quick edit, and now I can do this. So the problem with that is it does add an extra step, but, and you know, if you're trying to fix this real fast, like during the middle of church, you've noticed a typo 2 slides away, you don't have a ton of time, maybe that's less than ideal, but as long as you, as a matter of course, you always have one language first, or always have one text box first, you know, like text 1 is always first, no matter what that is. You know, it could be that you have the two text boxes. One is for like a soloist, and the second one is for a choir, you know, something like that. As long as you've got the order the same in that lower left-hand corner, then you could just go, okay, I need to change it, and as soon as possible, right-click, apply the theme, and then do your quick edit, as opposed to doing quick edit, realizing it's on the wrong theme, then changing it, then doing the quick edit. So I think as a best practice, I would probably always have right click, edit. I would probably, make it a practice that whichever text is at the top of the slide is, which that's the English, is at the top of the order here in the lower left-hand corner. So that would be my best practice, is whatever's at top should be the one that is defaulted to at top back here. And just when you're making slides, make sure you stick with that so that when you go through, you can go, okay, I know that if I right click and select Quick Edit, it's going to do the English, and it did. So, just best practice. So that's how you know which text box the Quick Edit will target in ProPresenter. Oh, and while I'm at it, I should tell you that I did do some experimentation earlier, and the size of the text box in Quick Edit does not matter. It's the order every time. So while the larger text box will get priority over the order of them in Reflow, if you've seen an earlier tutorial about that, that's the case. In QuickEdit, it is always the order of the text boxes. So, just more little details for you to know. And don't feel bad if you can't remember it all. There's a lot to know. So, which brings me to what I'm about to say. If you want to know more about some of the details of ProPresenter, just go ahead and join my Quick Start course. So head on over to TDM.fyi/pro and quick. Give me your name and email address, and I'll make a login for you for that course for free. Until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford from TrinityDigitalMedia.com and ChurchTechU.com, reminding you to go out and change eternity.